Hello everyone, welcome to this quick tutorial. My name is Dave Kennedy and I'm a full stack software engineer specializing in web development, database management and building scalable solutions. I have worked on multiple web projects using PHP, ASP.NET, Core MVC, Python, Django, and some of the modern front-end technologies such as Bootstrap and jQuery. I also have experience in cloud-based solutions, building RESTful APIs, among many more. So in this video, I'll be walking you through how you can build a personal portfolio website just in less than 30 minutes using HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and Bootstrap with the help of Chatgpt. So let us go through an overview of what I'm going to be teaching you in this video. So let me open my PowerPoint. Yeah. So this is what we'll be going through in this video. So we'll discuss what a portfolio website is. So a portfolio website is basically a website that showcases your skills, projects, and achievements. It serves as a digital resume for developers, designers, freelancers, and any other person in any profession. So these are going to be the key sections of the website that we are going to be building. We are going to have the About Me section, skills and experience, projects, and your contact information. The second thing that we'll be learning is how to set up the development environment for the website before we start developing the website. And there are some of the tools that we are going to need for this, such as a code editor like VS Code or Atom or Sublime Text. You are going to use the one that works best for you. Another thing that we are going to install is Git for version control. Yeah, and I'm going to explain more about Git. And then another thing that we are going to need for this is a browser. So for this, for the browser, we are going to recommend Google Chrome. Yeah. So the third thing is we are going to have a basic introduction to HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and Bootstrap. So we're going to learn about HTML there. And then another thing that you're going to look at is the cascading style sheets. That is the CSS. We're going to learn what is it. We are also going to look at JavaScript, which is used for interactivity and logic in our website. And then we will also look at Bootstrap. That is the pre-designed UI for components for building fast, for building responsive websites. Yeah. And then we're also going to look at Git and version control and learn what Git and GitHub is. Then we'll also learn why Git is important in software development. Then we'll also learn the basic Git commands and how we use them in our software development process. Yeah. Finally, learn how to connect our Git repository, and that will mark the end of that short presentation before we begin the actual development of our portfolio website. So let us try to explain these things one by one. So I've highlighted some of the things that we need to set up before we start developing our website. So let us move directly to the basic introduction to HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So what does HTML stand for? HTML stands for the Hypertext Markup Language. This is what defines the structure of any website. HTML is the foundation of any web pages. It defines the structure and elements of any site. And some of these are the elements that we normally have in our website. So we have the divs and the containers. These are used to group sections and organize the content on the website. We also have headers, which is represented by H1 tags. These ones define the different heading levels for sections in our website. And then we have paragraphs. So paragraphs are represented by the P tag. They are used for text content in our website. Then we have image, which are used to display images and logos in our website. And then we also have buttons for interactivity, interactive elements like actions, submitting forms in our website. And then we also have ahref tags for links for navigation between pages in our website. So these are some of the basic tags that we have in HTML, and there are so many that you can be able to learn. Now let us move to the next thing, which is CSS. So what is CSS? CSS is an abbreviation of cascading style sheets, and this is what we use to style and define the layout of our website. So CSS is used to enhance the visual appearance of the website. It allows us to define text, colors, background, borders using hex and GB or any named colors. Then it also helps us in defining the positioning and layout of the website using properties like display, flex, grid, position, alignment, and all that. Then we also have topography for customizing fonts, sizes, and the spacing, font family, font size, and all that information. Then we also use CSS to make animations and transitions in our website. So another thing that we also look at is JavaScript. So JavaScript is used for interactivity and logic in our website. Just as I've said that HTML defines the structure of our website, then CSS adds styling to it. Now JavaScript is a programming language that defines interactivity and logic of the website. So it adds dynamic behavior to the website and allows us to do things like form validation, which ensures that users enter the correct data before submitting forms. Then it also handles click events, which allows interaction with buttons, menus, and other elements. We also have dynamic content updates. It modifies content without reloading, showing and hiding of sections. Then we also use it to customize and also create more advanced animations. Then another use of it is APIs and data handling. We use it to fetch and process data from external sources such as GitHub projects dynamically. Yeah. So that is what we mean by JavaScript, and this is just a basic introduction to it. If you want to learn it, I will give further directions on where you can be able to learn JavaScript. So let us look at another technology that we are going to use in building our portfolio website. So we also have Bootstrap. So what is Bootstrap? Bootstrap is a CSS framework that provides ready-made responsive elements for us to make our website responsive. So it gives you the navbar, the responsive navbar, responsive grid system, buttons, cards, and models and forms. Yeah. So let us move to another thing. Let's move to Git and version control. So what is Git? So Git is a distributed version control system that helps developers track changes in their code, collaborate efficiently, and maintain history of the project versions. It also allows multiple developers to work on the same project without conflicts, ensuring code integrity. So what is GitHub? So we have two terms, that is Git and GitHub. And I would say that Git is just a version control system that allows us to track the changes in our code and allows multiple devs to work on a similar project. So what is GitHub? GitHub is just a cloud-based platform that hosts Git repositories, making it easy for teams to collaborate on projects, manage versions, and deploy applications. It acts as a remote storage space where developers can push and pull their code. So GitHub allows you to access your code anywhere on any computer and be able to work on it anywhere that you may want. So what are some of the reasons why we need Git in software development? So Git is important in software development because number one, it allows us to track changes saves different versions of a project, allowing you to roll back if needed. So let's say you are building an app, and as you know very well, software projects are never complete because they are evolving. You build version 1, then there comes need for other features. You build another version that integrates the new features. So software lifecycle never ends, and that is why we have to keep track of the different versions of our software. So that is where Git helps us. It helps us track the changes, and we can also roll back to previous versions of the application. Let's say you build a software and you're integrating a new feature into an existing app. Then the new feature that introduces bugs, and there may be need to revert back to the previous version as you try to figure out why the new feature is not working effectively. So that is of great importance. And then the Git now allows us to enable collaboration, where multiple developers can work on the same project without overwriting each other's work. Then preventing data loss. It keeps code in remote repositories like GitHub, so you cannot lose your code, especially when your computer crashes. You don't lose your code. Another thing is support branching. Developers can work on new features separately before merging into the main project. And then so we have some basic Git commands that we are going to look practically when we start building our portfolio website. So we are going to look at the Git init for initializing a Git repository, then Git add for adding all our files into the staging area, and the Git commit for committing our changes. And then we'll also look at Git remote add origin, which is the command that we use to link to our remote repository and more. So having this in mind now, I want us now to dive into setting up our project. So we will move back to slide number 2, and we'll have these softwares installed. So if you don't have any code editor installed, ensure you install one. I'm going to recommend you to download Visual Studio Code for this. And for me, I have Visual Studio Code already installed in my system. So I'll just search here and you can see it. Yeah. So as for me, I have Visual Studio Code installed, and this is how it looks like. I have some project there. Let me just close it for now. So if you don't have it installed, move to Chrome, open a new tab, then just search Visual Studio Code like that, and download it from code.visualstudio.com here. So when you go to this website, ensure you download the one that your system supports. If you are running a Windows machine, by default you will find a link to download version for Windows. If you are running a Mac machine, you will find a link to download Visual Studio Code for Mac. And if you are running a Linux machine, you will find a link to download the one for Linux. So once you click on download, you will go to your downloads folder and run that file for Visual Studio Code to install in your system. So once you have that one done, you are going to create a folder. We are going to create a folder on our desktop and call it portfolio website for our project. So let's call it portfolio website 1. Yeah, so I have created a folder for our portfolio website project. So I'm going to open this folder using command line like that, and we will be into the directory of that particular folder. I will type CLS to clear my console, and then I will use code.command to open this folder using VS Code. and we will wait for it to open. So this is our empty folder for our portfolio website project. So we are going to need some files to have our portfolio website. So which files do we need? We need a file for HTML, we need a file for CSS, and we need a file for JavaScript. So I'm going to first create an HTML file and call it index.html. So inside here, I'm going to start a starter code for HTML markup, which I'm going to do by clicking Shift 1, then Enter. And then we are going to call this portfolio website. And then let us create a folder called CSS. So this folder is going to carry all the cascading style sheet files for styling our portfolio website, and I'm going to create a file inside here called style.css. So inside of here, this is where we are going to write our CSS codes. And then we have another folder called JavaScript, JS. So let me just drag it outside here. Yes. So inside JS, I'm going to create a file called script.js. So I have the basic setup of our website. So I'm going to link these three files so that they can work effectively. So as you look at this code, we have the doc type HTML. So I'm going to explain briefly what this code means. Doc type, this defines the version of HTML that you're using. Then this is the opening tag for HTML codes. Then we have the head tag, which contains the meta information of the website. And so we have the opening tag for the head tag, then we close it here. So within here we have the meta information for the website, like UTF-8, we have the meta name, viewport, then the title of the website. And then we have the body tag. This is where the main content of our website goes. And then we have the closing tag for HTML. So I want us to link this HTML file with the CSS file. So if we don't link these files, then that means if we write any CSS code to style our website, then those styles are not going to be effective on our website. So just as a reminder, if you are watching this video, there are some things that I'm going to be using here, some extensions. So I'm going to use the live server. So like this project here, I can decide to run it using a live server, and you should be able to see it running. So if we open our project with a live server, you'll see a blank page. We don't have anything yet here. So if I add a header 1 tag and say website, you can come to back to our website, and you can see our website is now running on this port 5000 on this IP. Yeah, and the file is index.html. We have a text website. So there are some extensions. There are some Visual Studio Code extensions that I'm using here that you can install if you don't have them. So like the live server. So live server will allow you to run your projects live, and you don't need to reload. You don't need to keep on. You don't need to go and open the HTML file to see the changes. You can just run it using a live server, and you'll be able to see it working. And for your changes to be saved automatically, you can come to settings here, like for you not to keep on saving every now and then, you can come to settings. Here you click the settings icon, and then on commonly used, we have files autosave. Ensure your VS Code setting here is set to on focus change. So this one helps you, this one saves your code automatically. Anytime you make changes, like if I try to create another line of code here and call it, write any random letters without saving anything, if I come back to where my website is running, you can see that my website has reloaded automatically, and I have the content that I've just added on the website update automatically. So ensure you have those settings working in your Visual Studio Code, and ensure you also install the prettier, install the live server. And then another thing that I'm going to be using is the prettier code formatter. So that one allows you to format your code so that your code will look clean. So on the extensions tab, you'll just come and search prettier. So mine is already installed. If yours is not installed, ensure you click that and you will see the install button here. So install that, and anytime you want to format your code, you'll just come to your keyboard and click on Shift Alt F, and your code will be formatted correctly. So download those 3 extensions. They will make your work easier as you develop your website. So as I said that we are going to link these 3 files. Let us do that. So if you want, I want to start by linking HTML file with the CSS. So what I'll just, within the head tags, I'll type link, and then I'll get the link tag for linking style sheet pages. And as you can see, we have this, but this is not the correct path for us, because I have this style.css inside a folder called CSS. So I'm going to do that. And now if I say, maybe if I decide to style the background of our HTML pages. So let's say maybe let me say body, and then say background color red, and let's have the color to white. Yeah. So if I come back and reload my website, you will see that you notice that there are some changes that have taken effect. So that means that my style sheet is now properly linked to my HTML, and we can be able to write styles to style our website. So let me just link the JavaScript file. And for JavaScript, if you want to link a JavaScript file to an HTML file, just immediately before the HTML closing tag, you just add a code here, script src, and you will say JS. That is the path to our file, and automatically our JavaScript file will be good to go. So another folder that I've not added within our project is the images folder, because you know that websites have got images, and we must have a folder that will organize our images. So inside this folder, we are going to have some images there. Now let us move to Chatgpt to help us generate the code for our portfolio website, because I remember I told you I'm going to be showing you how you can make this task easier by using Chatgpt. So we'll just move to Chatgpt. I'm going to open a tab like this, and then I open a chart like this, and then I will tell Chatgpt using using HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and Bootstrap, Bootstrap, help me build a portfolio, a beautiful, help me build a responsive, a beautiful, responsive, beautiful, responsive portfolio website. Then use for the content of the website use my resume information. So I don't want to waste a lot of time writing the content of this portfolio website because it is already in my resume. So I'm just going to upload my resume into this chart so that it can borrow from. So here is my resume, and I will let it upload successfully into Chatgpt like that. Yeah, and then I'll send that message. Yeah, as you can see, it's now writing code. It's writing the markup code for my portfolio website file for HTML, and we will wait for it to generate that code. So while the code generation goes on, I want to use Git now to initialize a Git repository for this particular project so that we can be able to upload this project in GitHub. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to open the terminal. Let me just kill this. Maybe someone has not seen. So we're going to click a new terminal. Then we click git init. So when you use the git init command, that one is going to initialize a Git repository. So when we initialize a Git repository, you are going to see that all these files that we have here are now untracked. So these are untracked files. So what are we supposed to do now? So we are going to add all these files into the staging area by using the command git add all to add all these files into the staging area. So when we hit enter, you see that the status of the files have now changed from U to A. which means that they are now in the staging area. So from here I can say git commit -m, and then we say initial commit, and then we hit enter. So all these files are now committed, and we have the first version of our website. So as we continue generating our code using Chatgpt, let's just come to, actually our code generation is complete. Our code generation is now complete. So what are we going to do? Let us create a GitHub repository. Let us create a GitHub repository. So if you don't have a GitHub account, just go to the GitHub website. You go to Chrome and type GitHub, and you click on the first link, github.com. So because me, I have an account already, I'm just going straight forward to create my repository. But if you are using GitHub for the first time, sign up and complete the sign up process. So let me just create a new repository. So I'm going to give it a name, call it portfolio website 1. So I'm going to call it portfolio website 1. So you can write a description there, but I'm not doing that now. So I'm just going to click on create repository. Yeah. So when you create a new repository, there are these commands that you have been given here: git init, which is used to initialize the repository; git add, readme file. So readme file gives the documentation of your code or some little information. Then git commit, that is the for committing your changes. Then git branch to check the branch. So I'm going to use this command here, git remote add origin, to connect my remote repository with the local repository. So here, let me just clear the console and paste that command and hit enter. So by doing that, I now have my local repository connected with the remote repository. So let me now push the code. So git push origin master will push all these codes to our remote server. So you wait for that to happen, and yeah. So yeah, it is successful, and all our codes have been pushed to the remote repository. So if you come back to this repository now and refresh, you will see that we now have 3 folders here. We have 3 folders, that is the CSS folder, the JavaScript folder, and the index.html folder. Yeah, and that means that we now have this code hosted somewhere in a remote server, and we can be able to access it anywhere in any computer using Git. So let us now go back and to our Chatgpt and check the code that has been generated. So we are going to lift this code HTML structure here, come to our index.html, just gonna delete all this and paste the new code. Yeah, and as you can see, we have this, and let us change this one here to match our path. Yeah, so we have a very good structure. We have the number section, you can see here. We have the hero section that shows the information about me. Then we have this about section, the skill section, experience, then we have some of the projects here, and then we also have contact section, and finally we have the footer. So we have a complete structure of a portfolio website. Again, let us go back to the Chatgpt code, and you will check the style.css file, and we will copy this code and come to paste it here in the CSS file. We delete this existing code, update it with that. Yeah. So what else is left? So we don't have anything left. The only thing that we can do now is to run our code to see if the changes that we have made have been effective. So if you look at these files, you can see that these two files that we have just updated, their status have changed again to M, which means these two files have been modified. So let us try refreshing our website to see what has happened. And as you can see, we have a very good portfolio website with a navbar section showing about me, and we have the experience, projects, and we have the contact. So what can we do to make this one better? So I'll just copy this code again. Just copy this code again like this, and I will tell ChatGPT that, what am I going to tell ChatGPT? Make the navbar fixed, navbar fixed, and also include a picture, a profile picture, and also include an image on about, on the about section, and give you the full updated codes. So let us wait for this code to update. Okay, so yeah, our code is now complete. The HTML code is now complete. Now let us copy it. We come and update this here, and let me use Prettier to format this code. I'll click Shift Alt F. Yeah, so my code is now properly formatted. Let us also pick the updated CSS code here. Let us pick this, and just update everything here. Use Prettier to format it. Very good. So let us try to refresh our website now and see what we have. So let me update my, let me find an image to update. Let me find an image to update. Let me just find an image to update here. Let me move to my desktop. proper image for this. So let me copy this. Let me copy this image and come and paste it in our project here. So so what is the file called? Our file is a JPG file. So I'll just come to Visual Studio Code and then try to update the image where it's supposed to be. So I'll say can 3. Yeah. So let us go back to our website and try refreshing this. Yeah. And as you can see now, we have if you click hire me, it takes you at the bottom of the contact section. Then we have skills section, we have experience, projects. Yeah. So this is a basic portfolio website that you can send to someone, and this is not very good, but it is a subject to improvement. You can now use more advanced CSS and Bootstrap to make it more beautiful. Yeah. So let us push our changes. Let us git add all. So we are going to add all the changes that have been made to the staging area, and then we do a git commit, and then I'll just call it updates. Then I will git push origin master. So my internet connection is not very good. That is why it's taking some little time to push to GitHub. Yeah, so the push is now complete. If you come back to GitHub and refresh, you'll now notice that we have the images folder. And if you open this file, the HTML file, you can see that we have so many codes. So that is how we use Git to initialize a repository, add files to the staging area and commit, and finally push that code into a remote server. So I'm going to show you how to deploy this site to deploy this site live to GitHub pages so that you can share the link with your potential employers once you are done developing the website. So you will go to settings, then come here at pages. So we are going to deploy from branch, and then so what is the branch? We are using the master branch, and then click on save inside your GitHub account, and we have that one done. So when you come back to actions here, you will see that your website is being deployed. Your website is being deployed. You give it some time to run. Yeah. Let us just come back to code and check again. Our website is still deploying. It's going to take some short time. Yeah. So let's come back again here. Yeah, so this is basically how you can develop a simple portfolio website using HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and Bootstrap with the help of Chatgpt just within a very short time. So if you found this video helpful, please subscribe and share and follow for more videos. Thank you. So let us see. So our deploy is complete. Our deploy is now complete. So if you come back to this deployment, click on it, you'll see the link to your website. So our website has been deployed here. So if you click on this link, you can see, yes, we have a very nice portfolio website. We have a very nice portfolio website here, and this link I can share with somebody who wants to know about my professional profile. Yeah. So thank you for watching, and next time.